Apply some pressure, Maximo Park. The much underrated Maximo Park we were just discussing, Neil.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, I don't know whether we're allowed to... I don't know whether that's unprofessional radio, whether people imagine that we sit totally in silence. We're kind of ear-cocked and just listening. And then we start talking the moment. Or maybe people imagine the microphones are up the whole time.
Sometimes they have been left up, but... Yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be a problem because, you know, it's just us going... Maximo Park. Once saw them in the Glee Club in Birmingham. But is the stage big enough for a band? That's the excitement we have. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Josh.
Yeah? I don't think the stage could be big enough for a band.
At the Glee Club in Birmingham?
At the Glee Club in Birmingham.
Well,
I think they must put in a new stage. This is something for another day. This morning I get in an hour early, obviously. I'm professional, you know. Even if I'm a little late, I'll still sign in at 9. On reception. Unbelievable.
What checks?
Yeah, why am I doing that? I don't know. But it'll look stupid because it'll go, you'll see the people who've signed in, it'll go 8:45, 8:55, 9:10, 9:15, back to 9. As if I've arrived at 9, but thought I'd fill in a slot 2 down. I shouldn't be revealing this on the radio.
No.
But I caught up on my text correspondence. Do you do that?
Occasionally, but not as much as clearly you need to.
No, well, 5 texts.
Just reply when you get them.
Well, no, because it's good to batch together, isn't it?
No.
No, did you reply? Obviously, sometimes I reply when I get... But sometimes I think I need to send that text, I should go back through and see which text I missed. So you reply instantly to whatever?
Not instantly, but I don't...
There's people at home now listening to this going, he still owes me a text.
Don't be silly, none of my friends listen. No, is that your phone?
I've just got a text. Unbelievable.
You're not going to reply this time because you're on air.
Yeah, exactly. I'll wait and I'll batch them out. Alex Brooker it is. He can expect a text around 4 p.m. this afternoon.
What were we... I've lost what we were saying now.
Should we play Churches?
Yeah, we should. All right.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Churches on the Josh Widdicombe Show. It is time on XFM for Any Other Business. Your pedantic right to reply, I suppose, would be the phrase we like to use. Email us in if we've made any mistakes, and we will read it out. And Neil will obviously... We don't just uphold your complaints willy-nilly. Neil will make a judgment. If he upholds it, he'll use one of his bells. Which one today, Neil?
E3.
E3. Yeah. Some people don't believe we've got different bells.
No.
Do you want to just...
Okay.
I mean, that is radio. Right. We've got 2 really strong Any Other Business today. I'm not saying strong as in uphold, but really in the spirit. Hello, Josh and producer Neil. Long-time podcast listener, second time at AOB. That's the kind of pedantry we want straight from the off. I was delighted to hear Josh mention Brimson's Barbers of Newton Abbot, open brackets and its nuddy calendars, close brackets, in podcast 67. As a boy, I was a regular there. Open brackets, it was handy for my orthodontist, close brackets. and I would like to share some recollections with you. Number 1. Head barber Tony used to play the same joke on every customer. When the customer asked about the cost of their haircut, Tony would say, £100 or £3.50 for cash. This was lovely stuff. I mean, it was really good. I think it was probably slightly more than £3.50. I wonder if anyone ever called him on it and paid £100 by card. Number 2. I once heard olive-skinned Tony tell another customer an anecdote about when he went to Cyprus as a younger man. The man at passport control would not let him leave as they wouldn't believe he wasn't Cypriot and accused him of using a false passport to dodge national service. Oh, he was. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that you could imagine he was Cypriot. I can picture Tony. 3. My friend Russell used to insist on having his haircut by Tony's younger, trendier colleague, Chris. Once, Russell went in for his regular haircut with Chris brandishing a picture of Load-era James Hetfield, insisted that he wanted the same style. Chris had to gently break the news to 14-year-old Russell that his desired style wouldn't be possible as his hairline wasn't receding sufficiently. Keep up the good work, chaps. Ian. I mean, if you've got any other reminiscences about Brimsons, do send them in.
It's a very niche
It's a very
call.
It's a very niche call. I wonder if it still exists. If anyone knows if it still exists, I presume it must do. Josh at xfm.co.uk. We can't uphold or deny that. It's just anecdotary. We are. I mean, it is a broad church, AOB. So any, if it's any reminiscences, they were more than welcome. Dear Josh, my only issue with the undoubtedly excellent Josh Widdicombe show on XFM. We didn't need to leave that bit in, Neil. Sounds like we're blowing our own trumpet.
Well, we did.
We did. It's quite left field and spans several months and some of Britain's finest comedians. In conversation with Kerry Godliman in podcast 52, whoa, this is going back, Josh expresses his disgust at the use of silver balls in the baking of cake and condemned them for their utter pointlessness. In conversation with Alan Carr on podcast number 57, Josh proudly drew Alan's attention to his use of silver balls in the ultimately triumphant cake that he baked in the bake-off with producer Neil. I mean, this is brilliant. I mean, obviously, I will reply on this, so let's just get to the email, end of the email. People are, of course, entitled to change their opinions on certain matters as they journey through life. I feel, however, that Josh expressed such antipathy and I can't say that. But that was right, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Towards silver balls a brief few weeks before using them in baking of a cake that this unexpected turn of events constitutes a peculiar and noteworthy inconsistency. Kind regards, Brian from prosperous County Kildare, Ireland. Is that prosperous in County Kildare in Ireland, or is he saying...
It is prosperous.
It is prosperous.
I don't know.
Either way, I admit that I don't like the silver balls that much. However, in the panic of trying to find decoration for a cake, you can have a rush of blood to the head. Upheld?
I guess so.
If you have any other business, any issues with the show, Josh at xfm.co.uk.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
We've built it up, Neil. We have, and then we played 2 songs. People must be champing at the bit to know what we're going to talk about today. Only one subject to start us off today, and it's kind of it comes from the Any Other Business. A lot of talk of Brimsons. It's not just Brimsons, the barbers in Newton Abbot. I can't believe we haven't done hairdressing tales. Can you believe that?
No, 18 months can't, no.
No, I can't. I mean, I imagine they've covered it on, Nikki Campbell on 5 Live, but that was the highbrow reference I tried to go for. What would be on Radio 4, obviously.
Or Jeremy Vine on Radio 2.
Jeremy Vine on Radio 2 would do hairdressing tales, but he'd do, have you ever had your hair cut by an illegal immigrant, probably. Anyway, because obviously everyone's had their own nightmare in the hairdresser. The last time I had, now I've resorted. I've got quite a good thing going. I've got quite a good hairdresser, and I think once you've got, because I find it nerve-wracking, don't you? Because each haircut's a new gamble.
Well, I don't get my hair cut that often.
No,
that's the thing.
Right. Is that why?
No, I'm just lazy.
Oh, right, okay.
And cheap.
Yeah, and cheap. Yeah. The last time I had it would have been July 2010. I can actually. I went to a place with one. I think the spinny white and red pole these days is a sign you're about to have a bad haircut.
I would disagree. I'd say.
Would you?
That's a sign the place has heritage.
No. It's a sign that you're not going to get a say in your haircut. They're going to make a judgment call. I went to a place just off Upper Street in Islington, and £7 it was, and so my well, obviously it's the radio. It's quite difficult. I've got kind of floppy hair.
Yep.
He looked at my hair. I just said a trim, and what he gave me, he was Greek and he couldn't speak very good English. So he didn't really understand what I wanted. He gave me a slick back.
Oh, have you got any pictures?
No, he left the back long and then cut the top a bit shorter and slicked it back. And then, because obviously you're shamelessly polite, this is another one on the topic. Have you ever stood up to a hairdresser? Because I don't know anyone who has gone, that's not what I wanted. So I said, yeah, that's fine. And then I went home and had to cut the back of my own hair in the mirror. Obviously, I unslicked I didn't stick. The good thing about a slick back is you're not stuck with it. You can restyle that.
Yeah.
But you also have to walk at least 10 yards before you then go, oh my God, I need to restyle my hair. So I had to cut the back of my own hair. But you say, oh yeah, that's fine. I think how I want my hair cut is always how it is about 2/3 of the way through. About 2/3, I think, yeah, he's done a good job here. And then they'll keep going. Just leave it. We're done. Anyway, hairdressing tails, that's what we want. I certainly had a hairdressing tail after he'd left it on the back of my head. Cuts. If you've got photos, we'll retweet them. Any, what they've said to you. I can't tell that story, actually, because it's got a swear word in it.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
On the Josh Widdicombe Show today, we are discussing hairdressing tales. Hairdressing tales. And this isn't a tale, it's a question. And we can just read it out and we'll throw it open to the listeners. It's from Maddie, right? There's a hairdresser's near my flat in Edinburgh. Let's start that again, because it does make me laugh every time I read it. There's a hairdresser's near my flat in Edinburgh that every time we walk past is always flame torching an old man's ears. Do you know why? Neil?
No. No idea.
Well, presumably ear hair, but is this surely.
It's quite extreme.
I don't know if it's the same old man or if it's a variety of old men.
What hair is strong enough that scissors won't cut it and fire is the only thing that will kill
Fire
it?
is the only thing. Well, I don't know. I've never seen Nicky Clark bring out the flamethrower. If you do know the answer, text us at 83936 or tweet us at XFM or anything else you have on hairdressing. Hairdressing is the topic. Anything you have related to hairdressing, because that doesn't qualify as a hairdressing tale, but we'll just read it one more time. There's a hairdresser near my flat in Edinburgh. Every time I walk past, there's always flame torching an old man's ears. Do you know why?
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM.
George Ezra, Budapest, and now on the Josh Widdicombe Show. He's here, he's made it. But he is the Hindu fox moulder. He is Nish Kumar. Happy with that, Monica?
Absolutely delighted.
Yep, good. You're normally, obviously, you pop in for like 2.5 minutes work every Saturday morning.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah. This is my dream gig.
Yeah, you're here for the whole day. I was thinking about it. It reminds me of, you know when Noel's House Party started using Mr. Blobby outside of the gotcha section?
I think you might be the only person that would make that as a cultural reference. I really think that, Josh.
If you go as big as... If there's a Nishland...
Yeah. If I have my own #1 single, it's just me saying my own name over and over again for 3 minutes.
Well, I'd be up for it. Normally, at this point, you'd be doing Nishipedia. Today, you're going to do it just after 11.
Yeah, we're more relaxed. I'm here for the whole morning.
Here for the whole morning. And also,
You'll notice I didn't introduce myself with my catchphrase.
No.
For the section.
Save it for the section. So coming up, we've got another 2 hours of this guy. It's Nish Kumar.
Josh Widdicombe.
Producer Neil is laughing. Why, Neil?
We've lost our guest again.
Yeah, Nish Kumar, who was late originally, so we couldn't do Nishipedia, and now nipped out to make himself a coffee and took too long. Any sign of him?
Still none.
Should we just do some hairdressing texts?
Yes, all right.
Why not? We didn't really get to the bottom of that blowtorch thing.
The flame hair.
Yeah, but it is to burn off hair. This on the subject is I've got a couple on the subject of this. Now I this person hasn't given a name. I'd say they're their own worst enemy. I was in Amsterdam one weekend and decided to get my hair cut. For a start. Nish, here he is. He's late. Nish Kumar.
All right, Nish.
We're on air, mate.
It's not working.
We're on air.
Nish, we're on air.
Hello.
We're live.
We're doing hairdressing stories, then we'll come back to Nishipedia, because you didn't even manage to make a coffee.
The taps are broken.
It really isn't your morning, is it?
It's not my morning.
Right.
In the slightest.
I was in Amsterdam one weekend and decided to get my hair cut. Already a mistake. During this, I was upsold to a male grooming package.
Uh-oh. I mean, those are 3 words you do not want to hear in Amsterdam.
But, look, this included burning off the fine hair growing in my ears. I was 29 at the time. It was Amsterdam, and I was inebriated, so I went with it.
At what point do you think...
But I will never forget the fear that ran over me when the flame licked my lobes. I mean, who goes and gets their hair cut drunk in Amsterdam?
I've never been intoxicated in any extent and ever thought, I tell you what I need now, somebody near my head with scissors. That's what I need. I need to bring some sharp knives as close to my face as possible.
This is a warning for anyone that's thinking about getting their hair burnt off. This is from Tom in Norwood.
You shouldn't need a warning.
No, you
shouldn't need a warning.
Treated myself to a haircut at Ted Baker in Covent Garden. They flamethrowed my ears.
Is this a thing?
Yes.
I've never heard of this.
It's a thing. They flamethrowed my ears and did my eyebrows. Now I have to go back every month to stem the growth. 40 quid a pop. Unbelievable.
But in a world in which we have clippers for that sort of thing, I've never seen hair growing and thought, I wish I knew the Human Torch. That would really help me out.
But you're quite you've got quite a furry head.
I'm quite a hirsute man. There's no getting away from that.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
That was The Horrors, and this is Nish Kumar.
Good morning. Or is it?
There we are. Hello, Nish. How are you?
Yeah, that was a really manic one today.
No, it's fine. It's 25 minutes late, I suppose. So I've pent up.
Trying to get it out quickly.
Yeah. Let's move on before this becomes an analogy. Now, today, Nishipedia, in which you give us a conspiracy theory, and Neil will decide whether he believes it is, well, not true, but has the credibility to enter Nishipedia.
Right, I've got a bold opening gambit for you. This one will not go in Nishipedia because it has absolutely no substantiation.
This is the National.
There's absolutely no substantiation to this. But
that's not stopped you before.
It's so funny that I couldn't not say it. It was actually suggested to me by my friend Samuel Gray, at Samsbit on Twitter. This is just... Drink this in, Josh.
Okay.
There is a conspiracy theory.
Wait there. Let's do this.
It wasn't worth hiring the Foley artist for that one. Just for the one, it was really not worth it. You can go now, yes. Okay. Walt Disney left his entire fortune to the world's first pregnant man.
Oh, yes. Did he?
There is a conspiracy theory that Walt Disney...
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, this is the thing. The End of Junior would have been a very different and much better film if Arnold Schwarzenegger had inherited the keys to the Magic Kingdom.
But Twins was made by Disney Productions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No, it wasn't. It was
Was it not? I love the fact that you know who made Twins.
But Twins isn't Junior. Junior's not the sequel to Twins. They're different characters.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a thematic sequel, I like to think of it. I like to, it's sort of fierce creatures to Twins is a Fish Called Wanda.
Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, as opposed to Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, as opposed to Empire Strikes Back. So, yeah, there is a conspiracy theory going. Now, this forks off in 3 different directions.
It does what, sorry?
It forks off in 3 different directions. So it's either Walt Disney left all of his money, or Walt Disney left the entire of Disney World, Florida, or Walt Disney left a monorail to the first man who would become pregnant. Yeah, there's Disney owned a monorail.
So did this guy already exist, or was it like a prize to the first man who could become pregnant?
It was a prize to the hypothetical first pregnant man when Disney died. And all I'm saying is, I've seen Saving Mr. Banks. That movie would definitely have been improved by, at the end, Tom Hanks going, and by the way, I'm leaving all of this to a pregnant man. And the end. That would have been amazing.
I don't understand. why Disney was so into men getting pregnant.
Well, there's lots of wild conspiracy theories about what level of... Disney was into some weird science, supposedly. In fact, I think even now that's been debunked. But there are conspiracy theories for years. There's a conspiracy theory that Walt Disney is currently cryogenically frozen.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
Somewhere in Florida. And this is an extension of his interest in odd scientific practices. And so apparently he was obsessed with the idea of a man becoming pregnant.
That's amazing.
But there is no truth to it whatsoever.
It.
No, because Disney's will is in the public record.
Oh, yeah, of course. So why do people believe it?
I have absolutely no idea. I've tried to follow it through, and I think it is just that thing of people think it's an extension of the cryogenically frozen thing.
Wow, I like that. That's one of my favourite. But Neil, you're up for the
The reason I think it's too funny to not be in Nishipedia.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's too funny. And Walt Disney doesn't belong in Nishipedia. You know, he carries so many dreams.
Does he?
For children, and my childhood. I don't want my childhood to be tainted by this.
Does it taint it for you? Because for me, it enhances it, if anything.
Is that why Toy Story is Disney? Because it's like, did he believe toys could come out? Is he into like weird science? All the Pixar movies are actually his beliefs.
Don't go in the ocean. Why? Mermaids.
Right, well, Neil.
Not going in.
Not going in. Oh.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
No Cars Go by The Peerless Arcade Fire on XFM.
You love Arcade Fire so much that you should just go and marry them, Josh.
I would, but they're married to each other, aren't they? Two of them.
They're married to the music.
That's how much they love it. That's how much they love Arcade Fire. They've married Arcade Fire. Now it is time for Nish Kumar to face Neil of Fortune.
Oh, man, I'm so excited.
Good morning, Nish.
Good morning, Neil.
Thanks. That was the response I wanted.
Point.
So as is normal, as is routine, I have 3 games for you to play.
Okay.
But you can only play one of them.
Right, okay.
So I'll give you the title and the synopsis.
It's actually the names that you've come up with that I'm looking forward to the most.
Why don't you have a guess?
A Nish in Time? Is that going to be on there?
No.
Nish of the Day?
No.
When you nish upon Kumar?
No.
All good Edinburgh titles. So, Neil.
All good Edinburgh titles.
Okay, game 1 is called Kumar Chameleon.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, very good.
Okay.
So, Nish, chameleons change colour to hide in their surroundings. Can you spot the bands taken from the XFM playlist in 3 anagrams I have come up with?
Okay.
So, I mean, to give you an idea, the next band we're playing is Beck. So, that'll be quite easy.
First question is Keb.
Scratch that one off. Game 2 is called Hittin' a Nish.
Hitting a Nish.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
What's the game? What's the game?
Well, with baseball, we've all seen it but rarely understand it. 5 phrases.
I've been to the baseball. Have you been to the baseball?
I have been to the New York Mets. Yeah.
You went
really?
You went to the Mets rather than
the Yankees.
The Yankees.
I'm a lover of the underdog.
You're such a baseball hipster, Neil. I'm actually more into the Mets.
Tickets are also cheaper. So I've got 5 phrases from the world of baseball, of which only 3 are true. Can you identify the truth from the falsifications I've come up with?
My only awareness of baseball is the episode of The Simpsons when Homer has given up alcohol and he starts watching a baseball game and he goes, I've never realised how dull this is.
Okay, so game 3 is called So Near, Yet So Kumar.
So laboured.
So laboured.
So today is the 3rd place playoff for the World Cup.
Sure.
I'm going to give you the 2 teams who have contested the playoff in the last 5 World Cups, and you have to tell me who won and came 3rd.
Right, okay.
It's quite niche.
Oh.
Quite Nish Kumar.
A niche market.
A niche market. I mean, I'd enjoy playing that, but I'm not sure it's one for the listeners.
No, I want to hear the anagrams.
I do. Because nothing works better on radio than anagrams.
All right. So we'll go for game number 1. Kumar Chameleon.
Okay. We'll play a song. This is the new Pollution by Kev.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
We are in the middle of Neil of Fortune. Nish Kumar taking on Neil of Fortune on the Josh Widdicombe show, and he has chosen game 1, which was Kumar Chameleon.
Yeah, just because I wanted to see the panic on Neil's face when he worked out he actually has to work out the anagrams.
So here we go. Right, Neil.
Yeah, so Josh has given the title. So Nish, for those that are just tuning in, chameleons change their colour to hide in their surroundings. Can you spot the bands taken from the XFM
Can you spot the chameleon in the room?
Can you spot the band from the XFM playlist in the following 3 anagrams? So anagram number 1 is tense harmer practices.
Tense harmer practices.
I mean, this is difficult. She's essentially doing a countdown conundrum without being able to look at it.
Is that the Manic Street Preachers?
Oh, wow! The Scrabble for the bell was its own. Wow!
That's how the lack of confidence Neil was showing in me there. He was so prepared for me to not get it right. He hadn't even got the correct answer bell out.
Amazing. So let me just go through this. What was your thought process?
I watched the game show Pointless obsessively, and every so often there's an anagram round.
Yeah, I hate that round. I hate that round.
Yeah, I
Richard
hate
Osman,
it.
cut that round.
Are you listening, Osman?
No. We want to get him on, don't we? We're trying to get him on. If you're listening, Richard, we're gonna try and get you on.
Yeah.
Carry on, Nish.
All right, okay. He's massive, so you might have to widen all of the studio. Every time he stands up on Pointless, it's like the first time they see the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. It's terrifying.
If you want to see him stood next to me, I am on Pointless soon. I have recorded it. I can't tell you how it went. Anyway, well done.
Yeah, Manic Street Preachers. Yeah, I was just trying to think of bands with a C in them.
Bravo. Okay, I'll give you a clue for this because it's quite hard.
Right, okay.
This is a brand new band for XFM.
Ooh.
Quite unknown, signed to Communion Records. But the anagram is embattled, if not in chance.
Embattled, if not in chance.
I mean, come on.
Scouting for Girls? I'm just trying to think of... most of my album collection is from the years 1964 to 1976. So there is a good chance I will never have heard of this.
Did you respond really badly to punk?
Yeah.
I've had it with music.
No, when punk came out, I was a bit like, what do you mean you want to blow away the overblown stadium rock?
I'm going to carry on listening to Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I got my set at Hop Farm Festival. There was quite a lot of sound bleed from Scouting for Girls, which was annoying. I didn't know who it was, but they covered Jet by Wings.
Alan Partridge's favourite song.
Alan Partridge's favourite song. So you got 1 out of 2. Yeah. Presumably, it isn't Scouting for Girls.
No, it's Catfish and the Bottlemen.
I've never heard of them.
Wait, you should. They're very good.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Right, this is the decider.
Right, here we go.
Let Hates Be.
Let Hate Be. Is that the Beatles?
Yes! They were from his era.
That's also, they were from my era, and also it was a sort of quasi-reference to one of their songs. That's
trying to trip you up. But
it's like a dark remake of a Beatles song.
Well, congratulations, Nish.
Well, thanks.
Bit of shame you didn't do 5. I was enjoying that now. Oh, well.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
Let's have one from each of our topics for today, shall we? A hairdresser followed by a conspiracy theory.
Let's do it.
Okay. This is a sad story from Faye Bedding.
Great name.
Strong name. There was a pause. All 3 of us went.
Yeah.
It's almost like a joke name.
It sounds like a Dickens character.
When I was 10, I was forced to have a fringe, and I cried and refused to go to school. Sadly, I missed Tim Rice visiting.
I don't know whether it's the way that you read that, but it sounded like a haiku, like a surreal haiku. That's unfortunate. That's like
that is a sad moment.
I got a stomach bug and couldn't go and see The Woman in Black with the rest of my class.
Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
they went to a horror movie and I was experiencing something quite a lot scarier, I think. My brother once...
They went to, what, just the film? No,
the play.
The play, yeah.
Yeah, when we were in year 7, must have been 11. I mean, we were definitely too young to be watching it. Yeah. Because I came back in on Monday, I was like, how's the play? And everyone went...
Also, yeah, well, we won't go into what it's about. But So what were you going to say about your brother?
My brother cut his own, when he was about 6, he cut his own fringe, like, into a really aggressive suit bowl haircut, because he wanted to look like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, amazing. I thought you were going to say Paul Weller, but...
Yeah, he was a 6-year-old mod.
Right, brilliantly bonkers conspiracy theory. Well, you judge that, Nish.
Yeah.
Auto-tune is being used to prepare us to be turned into robots. According to the Illuminati, this is happening, and the evidence is in people like T-Pain.
Listeners, I wish I could have shared for you the moment where Josh Widdicombe was forced to utter the phrase T-Pain.
I don't know who T-Pain is.
He's a rapper.
No, I understood that. I've made the connection there. Any more? All right, Nish, if you're an expert on T-Pain.
He was the guy who he did the guest verse on Usher's Yeah. So if you can cast your mind back to 2006.
Yeah. So do you believe in this, Nish?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely believe in this. Because I can't see why else auto-tune exists. Because it sounds awful. Apart from Kanye did one album called 808s and Heartbreak, which he used auto-tune on it. It sounds quite cool there. The rest of the time...
Did you just refer to Kanye as a she?
No, he.
Didn't he just say she?
Did I say she?
No, I thought you said he. I was more taken aback by the kind of first name terms.
Well, Yeezy and I are... we go back
it's not
a long
Kanye
way.
West, it's his friend Kanye Jones.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Susie Ruffle, here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good. I was thinking, well, me and Neil were having the discussion earlier of who's been on the show the most as a guest. And I think you'd be, well, you wouldn't be top. But yeah.
Thanks, Josh. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate.
You'd certainly be...
It's always like a hug coming
You'd certainly be Champions League or at best Europa League.
Well, good.
Does that help?
I'm delighted.
If there's anyone at home who wants to make a little bar chart,
Yeah.
send it in. Oh my word! Then you'll get free tickets to the Edinburgh show.
Josh, you've got to stop giving away free tickets to this show. We're not going to sell any tickets if we keep giving them away.
Keep giving away tickets for bar charts. How are you, Susie?
I'm really well. How are you?
Good.
I've already asked you that.
What?
I asked you that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And what you normally be doing at this midday on a Saturday?
As you know, very often I'm in a random city where I've gigged the night before.
Not just because you're...
No,
Not because you're a party girl.
No.
A good time girl.
Absolutely not. I'm anything but a good time girl. I'm actually a bad time girl. Yeah.
Bad time girl. You met Susie. She's a real bad time girl.
She's a bad time
Oh,
girl.
yeah. She's terrible on a night out, but if someone in your family dies, she is perfect. Get her straight in. She really knows how
I've just got sympathy cards in my bag.
She's got a face for grief.
Yeah,
Which is actually what my next Edinburgh show is going to be.
Face for grief. It's a face for grief, body for grief. I don't know. That's
What are you saying about my body?
I was trying to do that. You know the phrase. You know they do that. It doesn't matter. Move on.
This is why I'm a bad time girl.
This is why you're a bad time girl. I mean, you've really brought it down.
I came in. I brought in coffee and muffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what you do. That's what you do when people are grieving. Isn't it? Oh, don't worry. Shall we pick the mood back up?
Let's.
Interpol. All the rage back home.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Interpol on XFM, the Josh Widdicombe Show. We are backing them for the top. You've got to put your money behind a band.
Yeah.
Four or five albums in, me and Neil have come to the decision. This is the band.
Yeah, the plucky underdogs of Interpol.
Now, we've never had a band on the show.
No.
If Paul Banks or the other three are listening. Carlos D, not there anymore, is he? No. If they're listening, I reckon if we got Interpol on to play Neil of Fortune, they sound like great fun.
I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say if Interpol are listening, cheer up, lads.
I know someone that could help you with your grief.
Hi guys, I'm here all day.
Susie Ruffle, we're talking today about hairdressing nightmares.
Yep.
No offence. And have you? Was this intentional? This hair? No.
I'm currently growing my hair out, so I'm in that awkward stage.
Yeah.
Which you three are looking at me like.
I've never grown my hair.
I think your hair looks good.
Thanks,
Yeah, me
Nish.
too. I mean, I was joking, but then everyone else seemed to take it seriously as if it was a normal thing to say.
I'm one of those bad time girls.
Yeah, one of those
of
bad-
course I'm going to take it badly.
My hair is just in one of those phases where it's just on the verge of being ridiculous. It's just
so
on the
curly,
verge.
isn't it?
It's so curly. It's so curly.
So have you had bad haircuts, Susie?
Now, I know that I've had bad haircuts.
Yeah,
Josh.
I do. But this is the magic of radio.
Okay, yes, I have had bad haircuts. And the reason that Josh knows is because a little while ago, after a gig, we went to my parents' house.
Yeah, we know how to party on tour.
Yeah.
Back to the Ruffles for grief.
Yeah, they're all bad time people. So it was...
It's a real grief fest.
Yeah, everyone's wearing black. It's really blue. So we thought, I'll take Josh there. He'd had a really good gig, so I thought I'd better bring him down. And...
Sounds like me. So, yeah, how would you describe your worst haircuts?
It was a picture of me with this bad hair. It was a red bowl cut.
I want to find a photo of it, but I have got... Have you got a photo of it, Susie?
No,
That we can try
no,
and-
I destroyed
If you
it.
were to describe the colour, I'd say... You know when you've drunk red wine and then you throw up?
That is a really... That's a really fair...
Description.
Thank you, that was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, have you ever coloured your hair, Nish?
No, but I straightened it once, and my friend Ed said that I looked like an Asian version of Orville the Duck, and he called me Orvinda for the rest of that year.
Have you ever... We haven't actually asked Neil if you've had a bad haircut.
I've only ever had 2 haircuts in my life, and that was either a number 1 all over, or kind of what you see
A
now.
number 1 all over?
Yeah.
Were you a young skinhead?
Yeah, for about 12. And then I grew my hair quite long.
Right.
So 3 haircuts, your story's changing.
I found the
immediately,
picture.
I feel...
We will tweet the picture, but we just want Nish to have a live reaction.
Don't, it's so bad.
If you'd like to, here you go, Nish. We will tweet this, but I just want you to
Okay, here we
describe it
go.
live on air.
I'm turning
This
it.
is a bit like... Wait.
It's a really early press shot when I started stand up.
If you were to describe the photo, Nish.
If I was to describe the photo, I mean, it's like somebody told you about the Beatles. It's like someone described the Beatles to you, and it doesn't. If you want a more specific reference than that, if you've seen the Addams Family Values,
Yeah,
there's a
great
bit
film.
in that where Fester gets a wig.
Oh, yeah!
Because his wife makes him, and it looks exactly like that.
Josh Widdicombe.
Easy Kasabian on XFM. Is it just easy?
Easy.
Easy.
He's there.
Easy.
By
Nish Kumar.
Kasabian.
You what?
By Kasabian.
Yeah. And do you know where the name comes from?
I do not.
Do you, Neil?
I do.
Do you, Susie?
No.
Well, that's that sorted.
50-50. That's that done.
2 of us know, 2 of us don't. Getaway driver in the Manson family.
Yeah, it was a member of the Manson family.
Oh, right.
So there we go. That's put a bit of a bleak edge on the show. Now,
Which is, of course, what I was hoping to bring. So, delighted.
so
Bad time girl.
We've discussed Bad Time Girl's hair, Suzi Ruffle. Now we are doing hairdressing tales. Nish Kumar, you haven't really sold yourself down the river yet.
No, I'm about to. When I was at school, my mum had this obsession. Well, because I have curly, quite expansive hair, and my mother had this obsession that I looked like an absolute state. So she would always make me cut it, and she would always go to hairdressers and go, "Look, he does have a side parting." My mum was obsessed with me having a side parting. There's no side parting. So the hairdressers would like wrestle with it with a comb for about 15 minutes.
Like
before sort of
Moses.
giving up. Yeah.
That's who you needed.
Yeah, that's the only the force of God. But so what I would always be left with was she'd get it cut really short up the back and sides. So I would always end up with a weird sort of flat top. And this is a photo that I'm handing over to you of me when I was 10 years old. It's my school photo.
It's quite
Oh, this is good.
You look a bit like Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, I feel a recurrent affection for Danny Welbeck because it's like watching a young me in that He's got a flat top and can't score for love nor money.
Now, obviously this is bad radio because we are going to tweet the photo out.
Of course.
But just for the listeners, Susie, can you just describe what you're seeing?
I am seeing a small, bright-eyed Nish Kumar that has no idea of the abhorrent thing that is happening on his head. If you imagine...
Also, it's a classic school photo in that they've got that sky backdrop that was very popular in the 90s.
And the worst thing about it is that that's a close-up of the actual photo, and if you pull out that photo, they had this weird obsession when we were at school. If you had a brother who was younger than you, they'd take a photo of you together, but they'd make the younger one sit on the older one's knee.
Whoa!
Like a weird Santa Claus. And at that period was the period when my brother had his Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber hair as well.
Wow.
So if you pull out, if I could find, I've got the photo somewhere on my computer, I will tweet the full image of me and Nathan.
So a young Will Smith.
A young Will Smith with a young brown Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber.
I think you should bring the
flat
high
top back.
The flat top, back. I think it's what you're missing on stage.
It made me look like the Fresh Prince of South Croydon, I can tell you that.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
R.E.M., the one I love on XFM, Josh Widdicombe. Saturday morning, still joined by Nish Kumar.
Good morning.
Susie Ruffle.
Hello.
Producer Neil.
Good afternoon.
Oh. And now it's a big moment. We've been hijacked.
Yeah.
Pirate radio style. We have an extra guest. He's hot-footed it in.
I don't think that's how pirate radio used to work. Someone would hijack a radio station.
Just run in the studio.
That's where pirates come from.
Yeah,
they're pirate.
Yeah.
You mean pirates radio?
Yeah. Is that not what's going on in, like, the high seas?
Yeah, that's right.
Have you not seen that documentary, The Boat That Rocked?
There's loads of pirates. Captain Phillips, if you haven't seen it, is people getting on a boat and going, play Duran Duran.
James Acaster. Hello.
Hello, Josh.
So what is your what you've got an update for us basically, haven't you?
Furious, mate. I've been cabbaged again. Twice.
Right, do you want to just fill us in very briefly?
Somebody needs to bring Susie up to speed because she looks terrified.
Susie up to speed.
Susie, a few weeks ago, I stayed at my friend David Trent's house and I let myself in at 2 a.m. with my own key. There was a children's drawing of a cabbage on the door on a post-it note. I got into bed and there were cabbage leaves in the bed with a note from David Trent's 9-year-old son, I've been told to say, not 8. There's a note from David Trent's 9-year-old son saying, ha 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 ha, you got cabbaged from Mick. And then the family thought it was very odd that the next morning I just left without saying anything. I didn't cabbage him back, didn't do anything, and the whole family think I'm really weird for not returning the cabbage. The cabbage.
What do you think of this, Susie?
I am shocked.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Is this a thing that I don't know about?
No, apparently.
Look, if you get cabbaged, you got a cabbage back.
Now there's been so last week, James, we said, are you going to cabbage back? There were some suggestions that maybe you could send him some. You were going to make a postcard out of a varnished cabbage leaf. We were considering
sending him that.
Or what was the other suggestion?
Getting a PS2 box or PS4 box, filling it with cabbage leaves, giving it to him on his birthday, seeing how excited he is about getting a PS4, and then seeing him cry when he sees all the cabbages.
So did you do any of these?
No, I was planning it. I was telling him what I was going to do, and then he delivered half a cabbage to me in the post. Half a cabbage is more psychologically damaging, you know. You know how much weirder it is? How much weirder it is to open up a box and find half a cabbage neatly cut in half rather than a whole cabbage. It's cling filmed.
So you just delivered to your house?
Well, it was delivered to my house, but it went better than I think this 9-year-old boy could have planned because I was out when it tried to, when the postman attempted to deliver it, I was not in my house. So they left a note obviously saying, we tried to deliver this, you weren't in, go to the post office. And it was perfectly timed because I have recently ordered a book by my favourite author and a DVD by my favourite director at the same time, and Amazon had sent me an email saying we're delivering them they will be delivered today.
Oh, so you were really excited.
So they're going to get delivered today. And then I got another email from Amazon in the day while I was out saying you weren't in, so we're going to try again tomorrow. But then when I got home, there's this note saying go to the post office. It's like, great. The post office, I can go and get it. The next morning, I wake up half an hour early because I've got to go to Uxbridge, so I think I'll plan my day out. I'm going to go to the post office beforehand. Half an hour less of a lie-in. Went and queued at the post office.
This is wonderful. This is
amazing.
So
Queued up while a guy who was at the front of the line was really arguing with the clerk about having to show his ID to get his package. Claims that had never happened before, so I had to wait for quite a long time.
Did he get his cabbage?
He wasn't. Not everyone was getting cabbages.
Oh. So you got to the front.
What's the front?
How was it packaged?
Well, in a big, like a cubed box. Is that a thing? A cubed box. But it was way too...
Just a cube?
A cube.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too big for a DVD. And I didn't understand.
Too big for a whole cabbage.
Yeah. And the address was all, like, written on a computer and printed out from Word. And not like Amazon normally do it. I was like, this is strange. And then I was
Do you normally get yours handwritten?
yeah, normally Amazon...
Hi, James.
John Amazon actually personally writes out James's deliveries.
Really hope you enjoy the book.
Hey, James, this is not a cabbage from Amazon, normally.
So it was in a box, and you opened the box. Had you twigged by this point?
No, I wasn't expecting to be cabbage so soon after the first one. I haven't even got a chance.
And you were plotting your return, weren't you?
Yeah, I was still planning to cabbage him back.
No one expects to get cabbaged.
Not
The
twice.
cabbage back kid.
No, the cabbage back kid. Very good.
You're welcome.
And so what happened?
Well, my curiosity got the better of me before I even got to the tube. I was walking with the box, and I thought, I've got to see what they've done here and how they've packaged my DVD and book in such a big box. So
Can I just check? Was it if it was Amazon Marketplace, you might have still had hope, or was it? No.
It's just a big box, but I just thought, well, maybe. Well, that's what I started to think. It's like the doubt where I got it from, and Amazon, like maybe I have got it from, just an independent seller, and. They put so much gaffer tape on it that I couldn't get in it from the... So I was in the street trying to get into this box and failing. And then I had to turn it upside down and rip it open. And then people were walking past and saw me reach into the box and pull out half a cabbage. And look, I just looked really confused. And there was a note fell out. A note fell out onto the floor. And it just says, ha ha, in capitals, cabbage. And cabbage spelled C-A-B-E... DGE, in brackets, again, Mick. And then he's drawn a bike with an arrow to it that says random bike.
Well, I mean, you've been cabbage, James. What we'll do, we'll play a song while you put yourself together, and then we'll consider if there's going to be some comeback. This is Miles Kane.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Kings of Leon don't matter on XFM. We're more or less coming to the end of the Josh Widdicombe show, but obviously some things to tie up first. Thank you, Nish Kumar, James Acaster, Susie Ruffle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But mainly, James, what are you going to do about this cabbage?
The main problem here is that last time we discussed it on the air, Trent played the recording.
David Trent, his dad.
David Trent played Mick Trent, his son, the recording of us discussing what we were going to do.
Good podcast hit.
And yeah,
Take it.
Take it.
and Mick got the idea.
If you can get maybe Mick to download it separately, that would be great.
That's kind of like cabbaging him back, right? But he got the idea from this second cabbaging from us discussing sending him a box with cabbage in it. So I'm quite scared about discussing a plan, because if I do, I feel like it's going to happen to me tomorrow from him.
Yeah.
So I would like...
So you're planning to fill his house with cabbages?
I would like, one suggestion is for this wardrobe of Brussels sprouts, so that when he opens it, it avalanches him. It's quite hard, but...
If you are listening, Mick, and you know, if we want to maybe next week get the other side of the story.
Wow. Phone in, Mick, by all means.
Yeah. If we want to get Mick on the phone next week, what his plans are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this thing could run on run. All I'm saying is, if you come to the Edinburgh show, 9th to 12th of August, 10:30 p.m, and don't bring a cabbage.
Missing a trick.
You're missing a trick. So, as a thanks to you all coming in, you can plug what you want. Nish, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm doing a show at the Edinburgh Festival of Comedy from the 30th of July to the 25th of August. It's called Ruminations on the Nature of Subjectivity, or as my agent calls it, Commercial Suicide. 7:15 at the Pleasance Courtyard. I'm also previewing that show. If you want to see a less good version of that show, by all means, come to the Exeter Bike Shed Theatre on Monday. Great venue. 15th, Laughing Coyote in Windsor.
I don't know if a great venue is The show is why you're going. How's the gig?
I'll say again.
Great seats.
I'll say again. Great venue. Windsor, Laughing Coyote, and the Museum of Comedy in Leicester Square, and then the Wardrobe Theatre, Bristol on Friday. All of those dates are on my website, nishkumar.co.uk. But most importantly, please come to my Edinburgh show and also our podcast.
All right, that'll
live
do,
shows.
mate. Right. Susie?
I am doing a show at the Edinburgh Fringe also. It is called Social Chameleon. It is on every day at 6:35 at the Assembly George Square in Studio 4. I'm doing previews as well, but probably just come to the Edinburgh one.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the done thing.
Yeah.
James?
Edinburgh Festival. I feel I start on the 29th. I don't know what all this 30th business is.
I might as well, actually.
Edinburgh Festival. My show is called Recognise, and you can see it.
Not with a Z.
Not with a Z, Vanessa, at the Pleasance Courtyard. And I'll be touring that show from late September throughout the autumn.
There we go.
Bring cabbages.
Bring cabbages.
Do not bring cabbages. I can't stress that enough.
And XFM Live, which we'll have all three of today's guests will be. Which day are you doing, Susie?
The Saturday.
The Saturday, the Sunday, the Sunday.
I don't know what day I'm doing.
James Acaster, Nish Kumar, Matthew Crosby, producer Neil, Tim Key, firing the flame off a candle with a gun.
Yes.
Tom Crane, possibly wearing a golden jacket for a whole day. We haven't got that confirmed.
We also got to get him to bring his tent.
We'll get him to bring his tent.
Yeah.
It's 10:30. It's at the Assembly Rooms. It's going to be great. James Acaster will be doing live scrapes. It's going to be brilliant. Buy your tickets now. Anything you want to plug, Neil?
No.
Okay.
Josh Widdicombe.